Oh, yeah.
Oh, thanks for talking.
What did you say?
But essentially, you're saying I'm like it'd be nice for radio.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Oh, you got video going now, so maybe it's
right.
like more than that.
So Seth, we have Keeler over here.
How's it going?
Andrew,
Of course.
Evan,
Evan.
and Michael New.
Because it's Michael Keeler, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm Michael Keeler, and he's Michael News. I'm just Keeler.
But you
Make
really
it
don't
very-
need
make
to
it really
know
easy.
these because you're playing in a fantasy world where they have different names.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll have to learn all new names here in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I,
If we're ready, I suppose.
do we need to adjust the camera at all? Can you see everything?
I can see everything fine. I can see everybody. I can see most of the table. So
Sweet.
All right. So I suppose we'll get started. So we start off in a mountainy, hilly, sparse trees area, and we see a few ragtag-looking, guard-looking characters. They don't have any specific markings to their armor or anything. But Evan, can you please describe your character?
Pretty big guy in chainmail armor. A little over 6 feet tall, about 250 pounds. Wearing got a shield and a warhammer at my side.
So these
Fair-haired, blue-eyed.
these guard type looking guys, they seem to be out for a patrol, just a random patrol, nothing in particular. They've been spooked relatively recently by some events, and but for now it's just a regular patrol. Morden, you see a humanoid in the distance, and they seem to be approaching the direction of your camp.
Okay.
They don't seem to have noticed you. They're just walking in your direction.
Within shouting distance yet?
Sure. Yeah.
I call out, "Oh, you! Declare yourself, friend or foe."
What do you say, Keeler?
Oh.
Friend!
Riven.
Friend! Who's out there?
You're just
I
on a
wouldn't-
regular patrol.
Yeah, okay.
You were not expecting any visitors, but you have encountered someone. That
Is our
has-
location
is he the guard?
secret? Would I
Um,
admit that we were patrolling around here, or would that be something I wouldn't want people
you
around to
could-
know?
it's kept relatively down low so that they're not just like ganked by the local
Okay.
guard and stuff.
Name is Morden. What are you looking for?
And this,
Where are you going?
And for you, what you have recently come back from Tamarin from your recent discoveries, and are in the process of attempting to contact the resistance group for your purposes.
Okay. So would I be revealing all that to this complete stranger?
It's up to you. You know
This
that you're,
handoff is already going to go so poorly.
I was really trying hard to not do you're all in a tavern, okay?
It's cool. It's cool.
So you know the rough direction. You were heading directly in the correct direction towards the camp, so you know roughly where it is. Your brother would probably have kept you informed because
Okay.
he was actually trying to get you to join, so he would have told you where to go, and that is where you are headed towards.
My brother told me of a camp near here with the resistance group.
You're seeking the resistance?
I am seeking them.
For what reason?
I wish to join them and rid the world of the elves.
All right. Well, everybody's racist in this
The
world,
elves
right?
and power.
All right, come Come closer. Let's have a look at you.
Oh, I like your
Oh,
racism.
You
All right,
have
Jack. Let's go.
I've got a couple of dudes with me.
you've got about 4 guards with
Okay.
you in your patrol
Don't
party.
attack.
All right.
4 guards, you say?
I don't expect this to
All right.
become an active encounter, but I
First move of
will.
the game, we accidentally murder
So-
Keeler.
So mini wise, I don't intend to really use the minis as
Except
for the
for
board, except for
Alright.
you guys, because
Except
I can keep track of when and what kinds of things need to go on the board.
Cool.
But so I will tell you if you have to roll initiative. But for now, you don't appear to be aggressive towards each other, as far as I'm aware.
Did you already tell us your
So,
name?
so I approach and I say, "My name is Riven," and I cast Prestidigitation. And my cape flows out
Quite the presentation.
in this mystical.
A mage, I see. And you're seeking the resistance?
Yes.
Very well. You can come with our patrol. We'll be heading back there relatively soon. Like,
Have you perchance seen a man named Jorah?
You know this
I-
person. It
oh.
is a member of the resistance, and he is he's recently gone missing, and it's part of why you guys are a little on edge.
you know Jorah?
He's my brother,
Well, I'm
my
afraid
twin brother that I'm seeking.
I'm afraid I have some bad news then. We haven't seen Jorah in a few days. I know him, but we were actually have been looking for him.
As have I. His home was destroyed by elves, and his wife was hung by a tree.
That is sad news.
am desperately seeking him. They don't know if he's been captured or if he got away.
As of yet, neither do we. If you'd like to come back to the camp, you can talk to others of his friends that may know more.
I definitely do. Okay.
Well, that'll
So, assuming you are, as of now, being his escort to camp,
figure our patrol's probably good.
okay? So you do
We found
so.
something.
Encounter 1. Success. You met a fellow party member. All right. So you had your way into camp. You were not all too far, so it doesn't take long. You don't encounter anything dangerous.
Commanding officer doesn't yell at me for taking a 30-minute patrol and just bringing some random dude back.
You're right at the end of the patrol.
So you are back in camp, and your superior, your most direct person to talk to would be Oberon, if you wanted to find him.
All right, I'm going to take you to see my commanding officer, Oberon, and see what he has to say.
Okay.
Like, bring him to Oberon, and
Lead the way.
this is, I'm already forgetting names. What was your brother's name again?
Jorah.
Jorah. Tell Oberon that this is Jorah's brother, and he's looking for him.
It's okay. I have a list here that I will never remember.
And Oberon is.
Well, he's essentially the second in command to this ragtag group of people, and so you are. So you take him to Oberon, and he's in like the main command tent sort of deal. He's talking with the leader of the group, Elohim. You haven't had much encounter with him yet. He mostly delegates through Oberon for a lot of the more mundane issues.
Above my pay grade.
So he says, "Oh, Morden, who is this that you bring with you?"
This is, God damn it.
Riven.
This is Riven. He
See,
claims
this is a good exercise.
he claims that he is the brother of
Jorah.
and is looking for him. We met him on our patrol.
Jack, not now.
This is my hound.
I see, Riven. What did you know anything about his whereabouts? We haven't seen him in a few days.
Last I heard in Tamarin, they destroyed. Neighbors saw elves rush into his home and drag out his wife. I was on my way to meet him. I had just come back from seclusion from the north, and Uh, nobody's seen or heard from him. They don't know if he's been taken captive or he's gotten away. So I was hoping he would be here.
Well, unfortunately, he's not. We haven't really since he's been missing. It was him and a few others. We don't really have the manpower to go and send anybody to look for him right now. But you coming here is fortuitous. In the coming couple days, we were expecting to have a couple of new recruits arrive by boat, and coincidentally, here comes a messenger from from somewhere else in the camp. Oberon, we have a signal from the river. A boat is approaching, and he says, "All right, go and prepare the archers and await further instruction." So you're welcome to come with. We'll go meet who this is. Hopefully, it's our coming new recruits. Ilum, and sorry, it's actually it's not you. Uric and Oust. You are Uric and Oust. You are on your boat, and Vorn is with you, and you hear land ho. You see land in the distance. You don't really see a port from who knows what you guys may have been expecting, but you see just a very rough wooden dock that in a far distance that you seem to be approaching. And as the call comes is rained out, Vorn raises his hand to the sky, and a flash of purple energy just blasts and sparks as like a firework into the sky. And from everybody else's perspective, Oberon says, "Good, they're with us. Stand down the archers and let them come ashore." And so from there, the boat approaches from the shoreline, and you disembark with Vorn is a Dragonborn. He is what color Dragonborn was he? Did you say?
I don't know.
He's a golden Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Brass Dragonborn. And he
That'd narrow it down, wouldn't it? Sorry.
What?
he's the one who's recruited both of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he comes onto shore with you two in tow, and finds Oberon, and he says, "Yes, Oberon, I found some potential new recruits," and introduces both of you. Can you each describe your characters?
Sure. I guess I'll go first.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Yurik. I am a human. I guess I'm not exactly sure where we settled everything in the backstory, so you can correct me if I'm remembering things wrong, but kind of like early 30s, kind of your typical adventuring build, around 6 foot, As of right now, I would be dressed in scale armor, and I would have some short swords on either side. I am, not too many distinguishing characteristics that I'm aware of. Probably like short brown hair, beard, probably.
Go ahead, Seth.
Okay. I'm a little bit shorter than I'm Oust, A-U-S-T. I'm a little bit shorter than Uric, just by a few inches. Also just a little bit thinner. I'm dressed in black cloak, black leather, studded leather. I'm a little bit slighter build, but everything I do kind of seems kind of smooth as you watch me. I'm walking kind of in lockstep as I approach with Vorn, the Dragonborn recruiter.
So, to be clear, I forgot. The only new recruit is Uric. Oust appears to not stay too far from Vorn's side. He looks to be similar to a bodyguard type station. And So Vorn comes up to Oberon and he says, "Yes, I found a potential recruit. It was rather serendipitous on our way here. He just requested you to join. I don't know much about him, but you may want to put him through some tests to see what he can do." Says, "Good. It sounds like we may have such a task coming up." Also heard of someone else that has been looking for some extra objectives. Some terrible words. And he calls out to one of the other guards and says, "Go fetch a loom. We may have something that he may be able to help us with." And some time passes. You all migrate back to the main center of the camp, and random guard number 1 catches up to you and says, "We may have a job for you if you're interested."
Oh yes, I'm very interested in waiting for some more work.
And so he brings you to camp, and you may describe your character.
Okay, a human, a big guy, like 6'3". He's wearing big chainmail armor. Has a big shield on his back, with a big long sword as well. Brown hair, very clean shaven. You notice on his shield it has it seems to have some sort of symbol.
Well,
Carved
you
into the
are all
shield.
humans, so
Yeah.
that is a thing. All right. I may not have
You're
given
just
you the
really
opportunity.
nondescript.
Yes.
We all know what Jorah
Riv-
looks like.
Riv-
So
Yeah, I mean,
mentioning
you know
my
Jorah.
race, also human.
He knows Jorah. You know.
Riven the undescript human. No, you may describe yourself because I'm a terrible DM.
All right, so I'm tall, 6'2", kind of thin, 180 pounds. Don't look very strong. I don't have much hair on my body, but it doesn't look like it's been really cut but it's more like singed. Yeah, so I'm kind of balding, but kind of patchy in some spots. Yeah, also human. Just with robes. I have a crossbow on my back, and an amulet that I wear around my neck. It has like a gray, mundane, almost like a crystal-shaped stone.
I'd like to add some detail too if we're gonna take
Sure.
this moment. One thing I wanted to run by you also. I wanted to have my holy symbol engraved on my shield. That's cool.
Pretty.
Actually, that's
standard.
actually exactly what
Okay.
I had to. That's why I
Pretty
described the symbol
Yeah.
on the shield.
You, however,
Don't drop your shield.
have not told me what your god presides over, but we can go over that at another time.
So I've got a great sword gripped in a fist with a lightning bolt handle engraved on my shield, and like I said, tall, big, a little bit overweight actually, pretty big guy in chainmail. Look middle-aged, not old, but probably mid-40s.
I'd probably look older, probably late 40s. Some gray.
Yeah, Riven
My hair.
appears to
There
be.
was hair.
Of the hair that I have, you can still see there's some gray patches in there too.
Riven appears to be the oldest among you, and so all of you have gathered into the center of camp. Oberon says to Morden, "Well, we have new recruits here that are looking to prove themselves, and sounds like they might be able to go after and look around for where what may have happened to Jorah. It sounds like a pretty good first mission to see what they're capable of.
I'd agree.
We have heard that there has been a bandit camp that has set up shop somewhere near Tamarin. We know some rough locations. We can point you in the right direction, but why don't you watch over these guys, take them around, and once you guys have done, you can report back to me, and we can see what we can do about these new guys."
Yes, sir.
We have here we have basic material shops. You can buy armor and supplies here for your journeys. Feel free to prepare with anything that you see fit. So this is me telling you that whatever you've had your opportunity to acquire through the gold that you have prepared, or if you want to buy some supplies now before you set off, you would have that option. I wanted to reiterate that I do want to keep track of like a supply need through your adventures. So you'll want to make sure that you have enough rations to go through your journey to and back, probably, unless you have someone who is proficient in like hunting and gathering that can help provide.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, well, you got 5 people, so you may or may not be able to
See who
do
my
everything.
favorite is.
Yeah, probably yourself. It's all right.
Wow. That's fair.
So Oberon informs you that it's roughly 4 days walk to Tamarin itself, and probably around 2 days walk to roughly where the bandit camps would be.
From Tamarin?
No, sorry, in between. So you're
So what? I've already been traveling for 4 days.
yeah. So
So would I have
you
4
would,
less rations?
yeah, but you could. I think they're like, oh, geez, I don't have their manual.
You want to see how expensive they are?
Yeah, I think they're like 2. I want to say they're 2 silver pieces, but
Is it in the opposite direction or is it to Tamarin?
it's
That's a
toward. You're going towards Tamarin,
Yeah.
but not to Tamarin. You're going in the direction.
5 silver pieces
5
for
silver
1 day
pieces.
of
They
rations.
were more expensive than I was expecting.
How many silver pieces is the gold?
10.
10 silver per gold.
So were you saying that Tamarin is 6 days away and the bandit camp is 4 days away, or vice versa?
Tamarin's for bandit camps 2.
Oh, okay.
So 6.
In the
Where we are.
direction, in the direction of Tamarin.
Okay.
They were saying the bandit camp is beyond Tamarin now?
No,
No,
it's,
no, no.
no.
On the
Oh,
way.
okay.
You were correct.
Okay.
It's 2 days to the bandit camp, another 2 days to
Oh, okay.
Tamarin.
And it was 2 silver per ration? 5
Five.
silver per ration?
Morden, is it?
2 rations per gold.
What is the name of this camp here? This
Doesn't rightly have a name. It's just where we are for the moment.
okay, all right.
Doesn't have a name.
You may call it headquarters.
We just call it the headquarters.
It is a traveling. It doesn't necessarily stay in one
Oh,
place.
okay.
It's not. It doesn't have a relation to a city, and they essentially just call themselves the Resistance.
The Resistance. Okay.
Viva la resistance.
So my squad's going to be Illum, Dora's brother, our new recruit, is Worm's bodyguard coming with us.
Vorn's. Yes, sorry. I really. So yes.
Vorn?
It was.
So Oberon, who all's going to come with us on this trip?
Well, Vorn doesn't have anything going on right now, so. So
Morden will be coming too?
no, he will be staying in camp, but he is
He's got
telling
jobs to do it,
he is telling Oust that he is free to embark on this if he would so like.
So Alice kind of leans in his ears as Vorn tells him this, and he shakes his head and said, I suppose I'll be joining you.
Good. Well, any more experience is helpful. So we've got some new blood and some untested metal in the group. We have some supplies around the camp. You guys want to take this time to go pick up anything you'd need before we head out? We'll leave at dawn. No idea what time it is right now.
We'll say it's midday by the time the boat got in
Alright.
and we got Illum in the town and whatnot.
We leave at dawn tomorrow. Get some rest. Get your supplies together.
So I'll leave it up to you guys to manage your gold because for now, in town or in the headquarters, it's not going to cost you any extra or any less for the supplies. It's just straight from Player's Handbook.
Okay. Since I've been spending the past few days with Yurik, have I noticed that he's particularly handy at helping find rations and food and things like that, or no?
Helpful at
point.
what?
Finding food. Like, has he had an opportunity since I came in on the boat with him to show how useful he is at that?
Are you talking about regarding to foraging
Yeah, essentially.
during travel? Yeah, so that is, you can do that. Have you guys who want to try and do foraging to make survival checks, and depending on how well those go, you may find enough for everybody. You may only find enough for a couple.
Okay. I suppose, yeah, I'll turn to Yurik and I'll say, Yurik, do you plan to do any foraging between here and here in the bandit camp?
I'll keep my eyes open as we travel.
Okay. And I'd like to walk to the, essentially supply shop, and I'd like to buy, 5 or so days worth of rations. They don't go bad very easily, do they?
No, rations are pretty,
Dried meat.
dried stuff,
Okay.
weird meats.
I'm gonna buy a further 6 rations for myself. Are there any like health potions or anything?
There
available?
isn't anything readily available health potion wise.
I'm gonna grab some pencils. If you just,
Okay.
you don't have to. I'll just do this.
And we start traveling. No.
So do you have
The recruits left in.
Did you bring any rations with you, or do you have any rations on your person right now?
Well,
Or are
I
you
was
buying
gonna,
more?
I'm buying more. I've got an explorer's pack, and I don't have the book in front of me, so I forget what
Well, that's
the
also
explorer's pack.
10 days worth of rations.
Backpack, bedroll,
Oh.
mess kit,
I'm
Well,
pretty sure all of them
tinderbox,
have
10
at
torches,
least
10 days rations,
Yeah.
water skin,
I've got
50 feet rope.
like
Have the
16
same
days
thing.
worth of rations now, so should be all right. Yeah, we're gonna have like a rope and hit a lantern or a torch or anything. Light.
I've got 10 torches in our packs.
Yeah, 10
Okay.
torches.
Cool.
Oh,
30 torches.
Andrew, I wanted to ask you if, since we have this shop and potentially an ability to buy some equipment that may have been, somehow gotten one way or another, is there any way I could see if anyone's found something that might lend me dark vision, some sort of ring, enchanted ring or anything like that?
Not at this point. No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
We got really basic rations, equipment.
Yeah,
nothing.
simple swords and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weapons.
Who needs weapons?
Want to buy an extra 5 rations? 15.
I will also buy 5 days rations. That's
And I only took the time to write down the spell that
Table
I
flip.
got. Room repair.
Do you have a pencil?
I'm fine.
What should we react violently about?
Yeah.
Frozen.
No. I don't care about Jack. Jack can bug me all he
You don't
wants.
care about Jack.
I don't care about him being here. He can run in here and jump all over right here.
what else could we encounter on the way? What else should we
Pretty
think about?
I mean, there's the possibilities to encounter, wild animals. It's going to be a 2 days walk to the area where the bandit camp could be. So you could have wild animal encounters. Weird beasts may appear in the woods. You may find some outriders of bandits. There's various options that I have to throw at you during your travels.
Good to know.
I mean,
It is consider it never safe to travel.
Mm.
Always travel in a group if you have the opportunity.
There it is.
anybody have any like glass vials or anything? Like I have a herbalism kit.
Okay.
I guess I could find herbs on the way. Okay.
I tend to rely on the favor of my god for healing.
Me too.
That's good for you.
I'd like to approach.
Magic you hear?
I'd like to approach, at least one of the newer recruits and introduce myself. So I'll approach. Keeler, what was your character's name?
Riven.
Riven. I'll approach Riven then, and I'll I'll introduce myself and I say, "Hi, my name is Oust."
Hi, I noticed your smooth walk up to the camp.
Oh,
It's pretty impressive.
oh
My
you,
name
man.
is Scriven.
already.
I noticed your singed hair. Yeah. What's going on? What's going on with that?
I seem to have a relationship with fire that I can mostly control. Sometimes accidents happen.
I see. So whereabouts are you from? I hear you're Jorah's brother. Is that right?
Yes, I was originally from Tamarin, but I'm afraid I had to move away and live in seclusion for a while. Just recently, I decided to come back after some of the atrocities that I've heard of some of the things that the Elvish government has been doing. I plan to meet my brother and join up with this group to see what I could lend my power to help those in need.
I was sorry to hear that your brother's been missing. He's been a very loyal ally with the Resistance.
I appreciate that. What brings you to the Resistance?
I suppose if you were to boil it down, it would be a common dissatisfaction with the regime.
We have that in common then.
And then I guess I'd like to walk up to each of the new members. Michael, what was your character's name again?
Illum.
How'd you spell it?
ILLUM.
Okay. I'd like to say hi. My name is Oust.
Hi, Oust. Illum.
Loom, where are you from?
From River Drift.
Myself from River Drift.
your personality is anywhere nearby.
What parts? What school did you go to?
Around the corner.
What part of the city did you live in?
I mostly moved around the city. I did a lot of mercenary work aboard the ships, so I went out and helped guard the ships.
Were you away from town a lot?
Yeah, I didn't really stay much in town. I mostly went on with traders out to sea and out throughout the area.
For reference, it sounds like he had a very similar background to Philip's original character.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. I was like, did he steal that?
He did not, as far as I'm aware.
I don't know. Philip's original character is.
My current character had a moderately similar background still. Anyway.
How did Illum? How did you learn the Resistance?
When I was doing my mercenary work, I was just approached by one of their men once and did the odd jobs to smuggle in, and I sort of had similar goals. So as I got to know them, I just sort of went up and got more involved. Just doing odd jobs.
Profiteer then.
So can I say that I was kind of nearby for all this conversation?
You're all
Can I say
pretty
that
nearby.
I followed him?
Yeah.
over the
Yeah,
conversation.
you guys probably all went to the shop.
Yeah, we all got food.
You're having some chit chat along the way.
I'm listening in quietly, polishing my hammer.
Okay. Yes, interesting. I wonder if we've crossed paths before. I've worked for years on the Flotsam. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but it is a trade vessel which it specializes in reduced tariffs and the like. So profiteering or not, the Resistance has, I think, a lot to be thankful for as far as people like Illum and myself go. That's interesting. Okay, so and you just got here into the headquarters today, or?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and then Morden. So you're the most established of the Resistance.
Yeah, I think I've been with the Resistance about 10 years now.
Wow.
It's been a while.
Okay, and what brought you here originally?
They found me, actually. I had a bit of a reputation back in the day with the Elvish army. We didn't end on particularly good terms.
You were in the army.
Yeah, I was an officer with them in my youth.
Interesting. Okay.
I suppose you'll hear about this story eventually anyway. I disobeyed some orders in the interest of protecting the lives of my men, and my superiors didn't look too kindly on that day, more or less threw me out of my ass. Spent some time wandering around before I became a cleric of Kord, god of storms. And eventually, the resistance contacted me and heard about my background and recruited me, so I came to work for them, figuring that I might as well put my soldiering skills to good use, perhaps with people who wouldn't ask me to sacrifice my men for nothing.
No, indeed. Go and try to reclaim them when they're missing.
Resistance looks out for their own, provided they can.
Sounds like a good place to be.
And welcome to it.
As this winds down, you have the option to. There's lodging available in town. Not the nicest of spaces, but they provide. They'll provide breakfast in the morning too. So if you guys want to mark off,
I would assume I just give something a little bit equivalent to the.
you're
Barracks
probably
are-
fine. You have a place, and that's pretty much taken care of. But for the guests, you
I
two,
prefer to sleep outside.
You're
I'm
okay.
probably in a bunk close to Vorn or something like that.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'll pay.
Just one silver piece for the night and breakfast in the morning.
29 gold, 9 silver.
And
Funny thing about him being the god of storms is I was thinking about my symbol being a lightning bolt, and I was thinking if there was going to be like a sea or storm god or something.
I had a feeling that you were going to have the same god, which
That works then.
interesting.
Yeah, that doesn't really.
Eric is
literally-
very suspicious that Illum doesn't actually exist by himself. He's just like a composite of other personas.
I'll take a little bit of Philip. I'll take a little.
I mean, he's a popular guy. It's not that weird. We got our thing.
So how do
grew
you
up by the
set up camp for yourself?
I pull out my bedroll from my pack and find a nice tree to sleep under.
Somewhere on the outskirts of camp?
Yeah.
Not going to be mean and have you
Create a
encounter
fire.
something.
Oh, Keeler's eating my wood. It was nice knowing you.
The rest of the party's awakened by screams.
All right, so morning comes, and you guys all have breakfast. You are going to be hungry if you don't at least go back into town for breakfast.
I'll go back in and get breakfast.
So mark off a silver piece for living expenses.
Fair enough.
Tried.
Charge me for breakfast.
That's part of this. Yeah, you're fine, and Faust is fine. What would you like to do?
Well, now that we're all fed and watered, we should probably get on the road.
Does anybody know the way? Should we ask for more specific directions?
No one really had specific directions, but he gave you Oberon gave you guys a rough direction to start your search in, and from there you're kind of on your own. No one has much information on the disappearance of Julian or where exactly these guys may be camped out at the moment.
Julian is
Sorry,
Jor.
Jorah.
So,
like
How far away
Jor-
is it?
It's Julian in this campaign.
Yeah.
Man, I am terrible
No,
with names. I'm gonna do this all
That's all
every
right.
session.
All right.
Ribbon, how far away is Jorah's home? Perhaps that would be a good place to start our search.
Jorah's home is in Tamarin, 4 days from here.
We should probably head that direction. There's some bandits in between here and there we have to keep our eyes out for.
All right.
I
Do
agree.
we have any sort of? Are we on foot? I take it.
Yeah, they don't
Okay.
have any horses that they can
That's okay.
spare at the.
I'll keep my eyes out for any bandit tracks.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Okay. These bandits don't happen to be Fey, do they?
No.
Okay, well, that's too bad. Perception. Okay, 14 total.
All right. You don't.
Computer has an error.
Ow.
Oh.
Front of his
Yeah,
face.
Citrix. It always says this, and I ignore it. A couple
Yeah.
more hours, it'll show up again.
So most of the day passes without incident. You're not necessarily traveling on well-trodden roads because the rebel camp itself is meant to be in the woods and out of the way, and most of the first day comes through without incident.
Andrew,
You don't tracks, yes.
do you mind if I, do a little bit of storying on the way on the first day? If not much is going on, I'd like to be walking close to Morden and asking him what's been going on. What's the news that he's heard from, having been back at headquarters and I've been out for a while. What's been going on over the past, I don't know, how long have I been gone? A couple weeks or something?
You may make up what you wish. Besides,
We won! Yay!
You can. This is what has happened.
Well, obviously the big news is Dora going missing. He's been gone for a few days now, and everyone's starting to get a little bit worried. Other than that, other than a few run-ins with some bandits, the patrols haven't turned up anything interesting. There's no sign that the elves have caught wind of our current camp, so hopefully we won't have to pick up and move anytime soon. Other than the new recruit, did you come across anything interesting? Any rumors while you were out?
Nothing that I've heard. Everything seems to be very quiet nowadays.
Yeah, that's the same feeling we've been getting out here. It's probably too good to last.
Right.
Hopefully we can make it to the town we're heading for without running into any bandits. You could do with a little bit less excitement in my life.
How do you say that? Narrow flights? No. So yeah, I would mark off 1 day of rations, and you guys find a nice place to camp.
Can I do a foraging thing? To
Yes,
see if I
if
can,
you and Oust would like to make a survival check, you can see how well you survive on your own.
Okay.
Can't look around for any herbs. That might help.
10.
Sure. Also, nature survival check for you too.
Survival.
9.
Survival for who? Me?
Yeah.
10.
12.
So, as being a natural explorer, it says while you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would.
I
So
see.
I'll just roll, and you'll
Sure.
do whatever.
20.
Oh,
Hey,
okay, all right.
Jack.
No one
Like
marks
rolling
off.
around in food.
In fact, you guys have enough. You found a particularly large deer, and you have enough that may even sustain you for an extra day.
Well,
So you're back up 1.
Yeah.
Well,
you can go back
newbie,
up.
you might be useful after
Mhm.
all.
yes, that's very typical, actually.
If we keep that up, we're gonna have difficulty carrying.
You find, some minor herbs. If you want to do an intelligence check to see what they were,
7.
they appear to be something you would season your meat with.
I don't need those. I can
Let
flavor
you eat
my
that
own food. I can
first.
flavor food.
Is that something you can do with
Yeah.
prestidigitation?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. These have no medicinal properties. I toss them aside.
All right, Scott, get your bedrolls together. I'll take the first watch. Better have someone
I'll take
enough
second.
to watch after me.
So,
Would anybody
are
All
you
care?
right, I'll
guys-
take.
Would anybody care for a warm bedroll tonight?
That's
There's
an
really only
interesting
room for
offer,
one in mine.
No. I see you're misunderstanding.
Oust, though. I mean, you can always check with him.
Are you guys building a fire? Are you keeping it low key? What are you guys
I'll be in
doing?
charge of the fire. I seem to have a thing with fire. I
You
can
do seem to have a thing with fire.
so
Certainly
I
seem to have a
gather
history
some
with
wood.
fire.
I do have a history of fire.
Um,
So I gather some wood and I
Burn
cast
down
a
the
spell
forest.
and start a fire, campfire.
So he just does a wave of his hand, and just like that, fire erupts from the wood. You got a nice, cozy campfire going.
we've kind of moved away from the main road, I assume, to like set up our camp.
You haven't actually really been on a road to begin
Oh,
with.
that's right. Okay.
And no one's seen any bandit tracks, right?
Not
Anybody
yet.
seen any?
Nothing I have
The
found.
campfire's probably fine.
I also cast a spell to dim the fire. So the light does not.
What spell
Is that also
this?
prestidigitation?
That's
or
control flames.
Control flames.
So I can have the area of bright light and dim light cast by flame
Oh.
Oh, awesome.
Only lasts for 1 hour.
for an hour. Yeah.
Is it?
So I'd have to recast it after an hour. Sure.
It's actually like a
It's
a
a
spell.
cantrip.
Or, oh, a
It's a
cantrip.
cantrip.
Okay.
He found that in
As
Elemental
long as you
Evil.
keep
So I can keep us kind of low key.
Yeah. I would like to take. I
During
guess
your
what's
watches,
like
at
the
least.
darkest hours
During your
During my
probably
watch.
two to
Okay.
Probably like
1 to 3 or something.
1 to 3, 1 to 4.
Okay. I'd like to take whenever it is darkest for my watch.
I see Riven building this fire, and I'm kind of entertained and curious. You know, you guys kind of see me, snicker and laugh and say, ha, that's cool.
All right. So we have a watch order.
I'll take first one.
I said two.
Take second.
I'll take the next one. I think that's pretty
I'll take
dark.
4.
And that's all you need is 4
Yeah,
people. That's 2. You have 8 hours for a long rest. And you would basically break it up with 2 hours per watch, and that's so you really only need 4 people.
I'll
per
take first watch tomorrow.
Since
Just
I'm not
sleep
doing
tonight.
anything Okay.
I gotta sleep. Do you need the watchmen to make perception checks or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will have second watch.
Darn it.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. When you have me do perception checks, is my passive the minimum? Do you do that way, or do you do the roll is the roll, take the roll?
I'm gonna call it an active perception while you're doing
Okay,
watch
that's fine.
because you are actively keeping watch.
Sure.
Can't see it.
12.
I take honor system.
I'm rolling a 20 every single time. I don't know.
There's a 12 total.
Roll high
when it
counts.
So
Wink.
you hear some rustling in the bushes. And you hear some sniffs and a little bit of a growl, and you see in the distance, you can see the glint of what looks like several pairs of eyes that are glinting from the light of your fire.
Okay, so you say the distance, but you don't mean very far. You just mean I can see it, but not well.
You can see them. You can't tell because of the amount of light shed by the fire. They are outside of that range, but you happen to catch the glints of light from the firelight inside
Okay.
of the.
Then I kind of stand up from my kneeling position. I draw my sword and I say, "Fellas, we got company."
What do you see?
There's some eyes, the bushes, everyone. There's some sort of what seems like an animal. I heard some growling.
If I'm
Growling.
awake, can I see what it is?
You have now woken up, but it is outside of the range of the fire.
So
I have
Are you sure it's just beasts, Soust?
Devil's Sight as one of the
I can't be sure. I can't see it very well.
ones. I can see normally and
Have they seen us, do you think?
magical and normal darkness for 120 feet.
Okay, so you have amped
Yes.
dark vision.
Yes,
Yes,
amped
you can
dark
see
vision.
what these are. You see a pack of wargs
Wargs. All right.
in the distance,
wargs?
and
Wargs.
they look like they have spotted your camp. They smell all of that extra meat that you had
Ugh.
hunted,
Mm.
and they are hungry.
We have wargs. I think it was the fire that attracted them. Definitely the fire.
We might be able to just scare them off. There's enough of us. I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy and make the sound of a thunderclap.
Before that happens, I would like you to roll initiative.
Oh.
Mm.
All right.
15.
Just keep those numbers.
Okay.
I gotta roll these guys first, and I don't know how to do this.
There's no. Oh, it's plus dex, right?
Yes.
Good thing I have advantage on.
Or minus dex.
Wow, I have advantage on initiative. I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Where do you
I have a
an-
+8 to initiative and I only got a 10.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah, plus 8 to initiative.
Yeah, I took a feat.
Was it feat?
Yeah, I took a feat. Gave me +5.
Well, I have -1 to
Is that the
initiative, so-
alert?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess rogues get
Yeah.
feats real early, don't they?
Well, as a human, you can take it at level 1 if you go the
Oh.
variant
Yeah,
thing.
that's true. I just
You
bumped
did
up on the
that.
stats.
Yeah.
Bumped them on.
All right, so my initiative of 4. I think I played my part in identifying wargs. Watch you guys do the rest.
Andrew, do I have any sort of cool stuff from not being able to be surprised? Like these aren't getting a surprise round on me, are they? For any
No,
reason?
you got
You already
with
saw
your perception.
Okay,
and
good enough to get a jump on them. Okay.
Before they got the jump on you, so good
Okay.
on you.
Nice.
So Evan,
Got 15.
14.
4.
9.
10.
Damn.
right, so can we get some
We move. Yeah.
clear?
Well,
Do we need to move the camera closer to the
Oh, yeah.
board?
No, it's okay.
I'll draw from this
You sure?
section.
Well, I mean, if you want, I don't care.
So this is your fire.
Yeah, it's up to you.
You guys would probably be around here. You can
So let's
position
just see what it's
yourself
like.
anywhere around here.
Sleeping next to the fire. I'm standing up now.
Yeah, I just woke up next to it.
It's great.
Oust, you just around the fire somewhere?
I suppose I'd be
Bring it
kind of what
closer.
seems like the edge of the circle,
good enough?
further than everybody else, trying to make sure I could see as far as possible in the firelight.
All right. How about
I'm going to move you. Let me know.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's perfect. That's awesome.
these are trees?
Those are trees.
Giant fires.
Giant fire.
You lit the forest on fire.
Oh my gosh.
It's not the first time, guys. I'm sorry.
Hey, Phil, what's your character's name again?
Yorick.
I'm sorry. Alas.
Sorry.
Or
that name
Not
last time?
Yorick. Not Yorick. I know. I was gonna come up with a new one and then I forgot to. So
Can I cast anything before we start?
You
Or?
cast
On your turn.
Okay, so now I need to.
So now we're in. So every action is like 6 seconds. Is that what?
Yeah, every turn is 6
Every
seconds, yeah.
So this will be.
Oh, I like the symbols. So I see how this works. They're not just numbered either. It's fancier than that.
Yeah, I didn't want to put numbers because I didn't want you guys to think that that's
That
how
was
many
the-
numbers are in this encounter. So I used abstract symbols.
Plus, it would get confusing with turn order. It'd be like, okay, first goes 7. And then goes
It's the classic
Yeah.
baseball thing.
That was well
All
thought
right,
out.
so you-
Just out of curiosity, does the entire group have an initiative?
No, I
number,
rolled
or is
initiative for each monster.
Every single one has its own. Okay. And how far is a square?
5 feet.
How do you do diagonals?
Every, so that's 5, that's 15. So
And
What's
the next
15?
one would be
So-
25.
Every
Uh,
other diagonal.
no, the
is
next
10.
one would be 20.
Okay.
Can you do that again?
So
Because
you
5,
know,
10,
5, 10,
5,
10.
15,
Yeah,
20, 30, 35.
No.
Yeah, that
I
would
think you
sound
skipped one.
correct.
Oh,
So-
did he? Was that
Oh, every other one is another.
5,
Every other
15, 20,
Yeah.
30,
Yeah.
35.
Okay, no, that was right.
Yeah.
And then 45. Because you 5 and then 10, 5, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5, 10, 5, 10, 5, 10.
Which character is me? They're a little bit hard to see.
And I don't know.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
back.
So then.
Yeah, we need way more colorful hats for our.
And then,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the camera, they look all the same pretty much.
You'll be able to figure it out by like sword
That
position
sword!
after we get this right.
And yeah, that's the little
That's
Keeler.
a staff, but I don't have a staff.
Yeah, Yeah, staff is our main.
That's-
Rogue's
Yours
got
is
nothing.
there.
Michael,
Okay.
you. What is your dex modifier?
-1.
Minus one.
I think you tied with a warg.
I think you lost to a
You
warg.
lost to a ward.
Oh, is that the?
I'm very slow in my
tiebreaker.
big armor and shield.
Yeah.
Hand was the dexterity.
All right, so this is my first combat.
And this is my first management of
Okay.
combat.
This is my first
Can I ask
combat too
questions?
from
Yeah.
the player side.
No questions.
No question.
Live
I
or
know.
you die.
Like there's obviously, is there table talk, or is it like your turn and then
I'm going
nobody
to
else
give
can?
my opinion, and Andrew, of course, can do whatever he wants.
Okay.
Especially since like we are all new to each other. I know like some DMs will say that they kind of allow table talk, and the idea being, oh, this group of adventurers has been around a lot longer in world than you guys have been playing this game together, so they should understand each other. But our group doesn't have that, so I think we should pretty much be like, you can, whatever you can say in 6 seconds, you can kind of communicate to us like your character's yelling, but
So in theory, you get like an action, a bonus action, and like a free action during your turn. So you could say like 6 seconds of something on your turn, and that would be in context.
But yeah, we
That
shouldn't
doesn't-
be
that
like,
doesn't
okay,
take
you
an action
attack him, and then
to,
I'll
ask a
attack this guy, and then Elam can, or
Yeah, we can't tell. I'm going to
can
cast.
come
I'm going
block
to do
this,
this. And
right.
we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. And
That I find that less fun.
I think that makes sense. That'd be cool.
I have the order down, guys.
I mean, we supposed to roll.
and-
Okay, so first off,
And nobody knows what anybody can do.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
That's kind of.
I've seen Yurik a little bit, and he's seen me a little bit, but that's about it. Oh, and I guess I would have seen Morden as well.
In theory, let's just pretend we haven't been in combat with each other.
Okay.
That'd-
That's fun.
I know that Oust has a very smooth walk,
Um,
and that
I
you
guess
can do
not.
something with fire. That's about
This
it.
was our
so this guy is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 30,
bring it jerk.
35, 40.
Never mind.
He's going to come up to this guy. I don't know who he is.
That's Riven.
Riven? Okay.
Riven.
Oh no!
And he's going to make a bite attack at you. Does a 17 hit?
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's based on my armor class, right?
yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And equal to your armor class does hit you.
All right. So I have no armor, so that's definitely it.
You take 6 HP. By the way, you guys are all wearing your armor. I'm not going to do the thing where you guys have to take off your armor to sleep.
Oh, we always sleep in our
We're
armor.
sleeping rough.
Yeah.
What about plate
So-
armor?
So I take 6.
Same easy. You take 6
Oh,
damage,
so much.
and you must make a strength saving throw.
Uh-oh.
A strength. That's not good.
Wow,
You
not
make
too
it.
bad.
18.
You are not knocked prone.
Oh, good.
Congratulations.
And that ends Ward's turn. Next up is Dot. He's going to run up to you, Philip, I guess. Does a 21 hit you?
It sure does.
And he's going to make a bite attack,
Please do not do this.
which is a 10.
10?
Yeah, boy.
Holy cow.
It's got 13, 2d6 plus 3.
Oh.
I think I forgot to add
nice
yours.
roll.
Oh god, we're screwed.
And,
All of us died first.
well, I could have made a
Resistance
bad
support.
encounter. So, yeah, and you need to make a strength saving throw, please. You are
You're
knocked
knocked prone.
prone.
Oh.
Into the fire.
Next
No.
up is
Turn out the
Eagle.
fire! Turn out the fire!
Swords are faster than us, guys.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. He can get up to you, man.
All right, bring it.
That's a bite attack with advantage.
Well, he's in this square, right?
No, he was in this square.
He was in this square.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
And
was
he
one away
cannot
from-
get up to you. He's going to make the dash
nearby.
action and go right there.
Oh.
And that ends his turn. Next up is Carrot.
Carrot?
That's
One,
low.
2,
It's
3,
like-
4,
I was like greater than or less than.
30, 35. This guy, 40, can get up next to
You
you.
want to kill Philip.
I mean, he was the closest
Yeah.
guy to him.
I
It's
smell
for
the most
liking
like
the
meat
same name.
and all that.
Yeah, you did. Oh boy, that hits.
Well, what was it?
I'm gonna
It was an-
ask.
It was an 18 plus 5. So
Okay,
23.
that
So
was-
we've already lost.
probably what I'm going.
oh
Oh,
no!
nice funeral.
Oh God.
15 damage.
All right, I'm unconscious.
Oh no!
Jesus.
Oh, what have I done?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Paladin. It's your moment.
Cleric.
Oh, cleric.
Let's see here.
Hey. Philip?
Hi, I'm working on getting you back on the computer. Things